Jesus when hunting up in North Texas. Was set up in a field where I'd killed a hog previously, and there's a coyote that's been coming in and checking on it. There's the hog right there. I guess this is from 4 days beforehand. I don't shoot coyotes on this property because the landowner doesn't want it, so I just get to enjoy watching the coyote do its thing. Well, a couple hours later I moved on to another field on the property. Was checking it out when I spied on the far side of the field 3 hogs crossing the hay pasture. So here I've made a 350-yard stalk to catch up to them. I can only see one of the hogs right now. The rest have disappeared behind this low rise. So I'm going to need to move up and get a whole lot closer. And I find a hole sounder behind a fence. I'm going to attempt to take some of them with my Lone Star Armory TX-15 multi-purpose carbine enhanced, shooting 6.5 Grindelhorn DSST 123 grain ammunition. Of course, I'm getting video through my ERRRR Hunter Mark III thermal weapon sight, and all the spotting I've done have been with my ERRRR Patrol M250XR. Now, there is a fence in front of me, and there's a lot of vegetation. I've had multiple conversations with the landowner about this type of situation, and he's of the mind that the hogs do a lot more damage than I can do by shooting a couple of wires, and that it's a lot easier to fix a fence than it is to fix a hog-damaged field. And so I'm in a position where if I'm going to shoot at any of these hogs, it's going to have to be through the fence. And I moved up one final time right here. I thought I might have scared the hogs off. The wind isn't completely in my favor at this point, and some of the hogs are actually downwind of me further off to the right. This is the largest hog that I've seen. I haven't determined if it's a male or female. That's definitely a male, but I haven't been able to clearly determine which this one is. However, it is the largest hog that I see, and it is very close, so I'm going to take it right here. So because of the fence and the vegetation, I'm not firing willy-nilly at the hogs. I'm waiting to pick and choose my shots. Now, before my hunt, I loaded up my rifle, extracted the magazine, topped off the magazine, reinserted the magazine, which is my normal process. And here I've thought that the rifle didn't cycle properly, so I charge it. Try shooting again, no luck. So this time I tap the magazine, recharge the rifle, because I realize the magazine isn't seated properly. I drop that hog. And I can't fire at these hogs in this direction because they've gotten into where the cattle are. So I swing back the other way. Line up on the largest hog here. Line up on it again. And it takes off. This hunt definitely is not going as I intended. Well, what happened with the gun not cycling properly? It's because the magazine wasn't inserting properly, and the magazine wasn't inserting properly because it is too wide. In fact, it is about 3/4 of a millimeter too wide compared to a magazine that will insert and eject quite readily. So I'm going to be discarding the first magazine. What happened on the last hog? I shot a wire. You can clearly see the evidence of this by the curled up end of the wire, indicating that it's been hit by a bullet. What do I do in a circumstance like this is to notify the landowner. I will mark the location on the map, send him a copy of the map, explain to him what happened. And in this case, he came out the next day, checked the damage, said, don't worry about it, he'll take care of it, and life is good. Here I will also add that my landowners get copies of the videos that I make, so they get to comment on whether or not they like the way that I'm hunting, if they think I'm doing something right or wrong, and we go from there.
Brass Catcher by Tactical Brass Recovery.
Well, what about the hogs? Well, the first one was a 225-pound boar down at 50 yards, and the second one was a 160-pound boar down at 70 yards, but my night wasn't over. Moved on to the next property, spied a hog in the neighbor's pasture, waited for it to come closer, and it never did, unfortunately. And despite that being the last hunt of the night for me, the excitement was not over, because on the way home at 75 miles an hour, I struck a deer on the highway, hitting its head with my left front bumper, driving the bumper into the tire, which I was able to pull out with a breaker bar, and the deer came around and slammed the side of my truck, damaging both doors. Boy, I wish 2020 would hurry up and end. Carpe sus, my friends.